Have you ever woken up feeling like the weight of the world was on your shoulders? You open your eyes and the to-do list starts scrolling, deadlines, responsibilities, worries that whisper in the quiet of the morning. Life moves fast and it's easy to get swept away in the current of busyness. But what if there was a way to start your day differently? What if you could find a place of peace before the chaos begins? Dedicating the first few moments of your day to God, even before your feet hit the floor, can change everything. Imagine this. The sun begins to rise, casting a warm glow on a new day. Instead of reaching for your phone or rushing into the day's demands, you pause. You close your eyes and turn your heart to God. This quiet moment of prayer and reflection is a gift you give yourself. It is a way to align your heart with God's before the busyness of the day begins. This isn't about adding another item to your to-do list. It's about seeking a source of strength and peace that will carry you through whatever the day may bring. It's about inviting God into the center of your day, not just the fringes. Sarah, a busy single mother of two, used to wake up feeling overwhelmed. The demands of work and raising her children felt like a constant battle. One day a friend suggested she try starting her day with a simple prayer. Sarah was hesitant at first. How could a few minutes of prayer really make a difference? But she decided to give it a try. To her surprise, she discovered a profound sense of peace in those quiet moments. As she prayed, she found the strength to face the day's challenges. Her anxieties didn't magically disappear, but she found herself better equipped to handle them. Her morning prayer became her anchor, reminding her that she wasn't alone. The Bible is filled with examples of men and women who sought God in the early hours. Think of Genesis, where God would meet Adam in the Garden of Eden in the cool of the day. Or consider Psalm 5, verse 3. In the morning, Lord, you hear my voice. In the morning I lay my request before you and wait expectantly. These ancient words remind us that we are invited to meet with God in the stillness of the morning, to bring our hopes and fears before Him. This practice isn't just a quaint tradition from the past, it's a powerful way to connect with the source of life and peace, even in our fast-paced world. It's about recognizing that we need God's presence, not just on Sundays, but in the everyday moments of our lives. Section 5. The Thief of Stillness. In today's world, distractions are abundant. Our phones beckon with notifications. The news blares from the television, and our minds race with to-do lists. It's easy to let these distractions steal the sacred stillness of the morning. We allow the urgent to crowd out the important. We convince ourselves that we don't have time for silence and reflection, but here's the truth. We can't afford not to make time for God. When we neglect our spiritual well-being, we become like ships without anchors, tossed about by the waves of circumstance. We lose sight of what truly matters. We become reactive instead of responsive. Section 6. Tending the garden of your soul. Imagine for a moment that your soul is a garden. What would it look like to tend to that garden each morning? Just as a gardener carefully waters and weeds their plants, we must also cultivate our inner landscape. Prayer and reflection are the tools we use to remove the weeds of worry and fear, and to nourish the seeds of faith and hope. When we make time for God each morning, we are essentially tending to the garden of our souls. We are creating space for peace, joy, and strength to grow. Section 7. Finding God in the everyday. Starting your day with God doesn't require elaborate rituals or hours of meditation. It's about a simple shift in focus, a conscious choice to invite God into your day. It might be a short prayer while you're still in bed, a few moments of reading scripture, or simply sitting in silence and acknowledging God's presence. The key is to find what works for you, and to make it a consistent practice. As you cultivate this habit, you'll discover that God's presence isn't confined to a specific time or place. You'll begin to see glimpses of Him in the beauty of creation, in the kindness of strangers, and in the everyday moments of your life. Section 8. Lightening the Load. Remember that feeling of the weight of the world on your shoulders? When you start your day with God, you're not magically freed from your responsibilities. But something profound happens. You access a source of strength that is greater than yourself. You find peace in knowing that you're not facing the day alone. As you go through your day, the challenges might still be there. But your perspective has shifted. You'll find yourself responding with more grace and patience. You'll discover a wellspring of strength you didn't know you had. Section 9. your invitation to transformation. So, as you begin each new day, I invite you to try something different. Resist the urge to immediately jump into the busyness of life. Instead, pause, breathe, and turn your heart to God. Offer Him your hopes, your fears, your dreams. Ask for His guidance and strength. You might be surprised by what you find. This simple act of starting your day with God has the power to transform not just your mornings, but your entire life. It's an invitation to experience the peace, joy, and strength that come from walking in step with Him. Chapter 10. The Sacred First 5 Minutes. Your first 5 minutes in the morning shape your heart for the next 24 hours. Consider Anna, a teacher and mother of 2. She used to check emails first thing every morning, plunging straight into the chaos of the day. But when she chose to give the first 5 minutes to God, her classroom stress decreased significantly. This isn't about needing an hour or more. Even a whisper of, "Good morning, Lord, walk with me today," can be sacred. Just offer Him the beginning, and He'll bless the rest. By dedicating those initial moments to prayer and reflection, you set a tone of peace and purpose that carries you through the day. It's a small change with profound impact, inviting divine presence into your daily routine. So, start your mornings with intention. Let the first 5 minutes be sacred, and watch how it transforms not just your day, but your life. Chapter 11. A prayer before your feet touch the floor. God deserves our thoughts before gravity pulls us into the day. Take James, a delivery driver, for example. He made a habit of praying before getting out of bed. "God, order my steps." Miraculously, he avoided a serious accident during one of his routes. This simple act of devotion can align your day with divine intention. As Psalm 37:23 says, "The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord." It's not about adding more to your to-do list, it's about inviting God into what you already do. Before your feet touch the floor, take a moment to connect with the divine. It can be a simple prayer, a deep breath, or a moment of gratitude. This small act of faith has the power to transform your day, offering you guidance and protection in ways you might not expect. So, as you wake up tomorrow, remember to pause, pray, and invite God to order your steps. You might just find that your path becomes clearer, your burdens lighter, and your heart more at peace. What feeds your soul first often leads your thoughts all day. Imagine starting your day not with the endless scroll of social media, but with words that nourish your spirit. Take the example of Sarah, a college student overwhelmed by the pressures of academic life and the constant noise of social media. She decided to delete Instagram for 1 week and replace her morning scroll with reading Psalms. Within just a few days, Sarah noticed a profound shift. Her anxiety levels dropped, she slept better, and she felt a sense of peace she hadn't known in a long time. This simple yet powerful change can have a transformative impact on your life too. We challenge you to try 7 days of scripture before screen. Begin each morning with a few verses, allowing the timeless wisdom to set the tone for your day. You'll find that the feet of heaven is never outdated, offering guidance, comfort, and clarity that technology simply cannot provide. So as you wake up tomorrow, resist the urge to reach for your phone. Instead, reach for a Bible or a devotional. Spend those first precious moments feeding your soul with scripture, and watch how your spirit shifts. You might just find that your days are more centered, your thoughts more serene, and your heart more open to the divine. Imagine this: the aroma of freshly brewed coffee filling the air, the gentle morning light streaming through the window and beside you, the comforting presence of the Word. This is a moment of sacred stillness, where you can connect with something far greater than yourself. Consider the story of a grandfather who made this a daily ritual. Each morning he would sit on his porch with a steaming cup of coffee and his Bible. It was his time of solace where he could reflect, pray, and draw strength from the scriptures. Over time, his grandson began to join him. What started as a solitary practice blossomed into a cherished tradition, building a legacy of faith that spanned generations. Creating a sacred space doesn't require much. It could be a cozy corner in your kitchen, a spot at your dining table, or even a chair by the window. The key is consistency. Let this be your moment with Jesus, a habit as warm and inviting as your morning drink. So tomorrow morning, as you prepare your coffee, remember that this is also an opportunity to prepare your heart. Spend those first few minutes with Scripture, letting its wisdom and peace infuse your day. In doing so, you'll find that your mornings are not just a rush to start the day, but a deliberate step towards spiritual nourishment and growth. Make time with Jesus a habit as warm as your morning drink. You'll be amazed at how this simple practice can transform not just your mornings but your entire life. Morning is a time for healing, not hiding. Imagine this. The world outside is still. The first light of dawn casts a gentle glow, and in this quiet moment, you bring your hidden hurts to the surface. Consider the story of Maria. Heartbroken after a painful divorce, she found herself crying out to God each morning. With each tear, she laid her grief bare, not rushing the process but allowing herself to feel every ounce of her pain. Over the months, something remarkable happened. God turned her mourning into purpose. She found strength in her vulnerability and now leads a support group for those navigating the same heartache she once endured. The powerful insight here is that God doesn't rush your healing. He meets you in the breaking, offering comfort and understanding. Each morning as you pray, you are not just speaking into the void, you are engaging in a transformative dialogue with the divine. So as you wake up tomorrow, take a moment to bring your hidden hurts to God. Let your morning prayers be a time of healing, where you allow yourself to be seen and comforted. In doing so, you'll find that your wounds begin to mend, and your mornings become a sanctuary of solace and strength. Morning is a time for healing, not hiding. Trust that God meets you where you are, turning your pain into purpose. Before you write your to-do list, give God permission to rewrite it. Imagine this. A businesswoman, always meticulously planning her day, began to pray, "God, interrupt my plans if you have better ones." That very week, she felt an unexpected nudge to skip an important meeting, a decision that seemed irrational at the time. However, she later discovered that attending the meeting would have led to a devastating investment. This real-life example underscores a profound truth. Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails, as stated in Proverbs 19:21. By surrendering her agenda to God, she avoided a significant setback and opened herself to divine guidance. So as you prepare for your day, pause and ask God to take your agenda. Trust that His divine detours could be your greatest blessings. In doing so, you allow room for God's purpose to unfold, leading you down paths you may never have imagined. Your morning routine can become a sacred dialogue, where you exchange your plans for God's greater vision. Let go and let God guide your steps, transforming your day into a journey of faith and unexpected blessings. Before you pour into your kids, your work, or your marriage, remember this crucial truth. You cannot give what you do not have. Imagine a mother of 4, her days filled with endless tasks and demands. She makes a conscious choice to wake up 30 minutes earlier each day, dedicating that time solely to prayer. This simple yet powerful act transforms her mornings from chaos to calm. She finds that this sacred time of connection with God becomes the difference between snapping in stress and speaking in grace. By filling herself spiritually first, she gains the strength and patience needed to pour love and grace into her family and her work. This real-life example serves as a poignant reminder: taking time for your spiritual nourishment is not selfish. In fact, it is an act of spiritual strength. When you prioritize filling your own cup, you are better equipped to serve those around you with love and compassion. So, as you start your day, remember to fill before you pour. Let God's grace flow into you, so you can extend that same grace to others. Your morning prayer can be the wellspring from which all your daily interactions are nourished, turning ordinary moments into opportunities for divine grace. Imagine the world before it wakes up, the stillness that envelops everything, offering a rare moment of peace. In this precious silence, God's whisper can be heard most clearly. Take for instance a truck driver named Joe, a man whose days are filled with the roar of engines and the weight of life's responsibilities. One morning, feeling particularly overwhelmed, Joe decided to sit quietly for just 5 minutes before starting his day. No distractions, no noise, just him and the stillness. As he sat there, a gentle whisper resonated within his heart: "You're not alone." This simple yet profound message became his anchor, a daily reminder that even in the toughest times, he was never truly alone. Joe found that these moments of silence allowed him to connect deeply with God, receiving the tender words he needed to carry on. The lesson here is powerful. No matter how tough or busy you are, you're never beyond the reach of God's tender words. Silence in the morning creates space for these divine whispers, transforming ordinary moments into sacred encounters. So, take a few minutes each morning to sit in stillness and listen. You might just hear the words you need to face the day with renewed strength and peace. Mornings are for surrender, not striving. In the quiet moments before the world awakens, we have a unique opportunity to lay down our burdens and entrust them to a higher power. Consider the story of Sarah, a woman waiting on medical results that could change her life forever. Each morning, instead of letting anxiety take hold, Sarah chose to thank God for his presence and goodness, even before knowing the outcome. Her unwavering peace and calm surprised even her doctors, who couldn't understand how she remained so composed. This story reveals a profound truth. Trust is not built by receiving answers, it's built in the waiting. When we choose to pray over what we cannot control, we acknowledge that our strength alone is not enough. We invite divine intervention and embrace the peace that surpasses all understanding. So as you start your day, take a moment to surrender your worries and uncertainties. Pray over what you cannot control and trust that whatever comes, you are held by a power greater than yourself. This simple act of faith transforms the unknown into a journey of trust and peace, setting the tone for a day rooted in divine assurance. The first words you say can set the tone for the entire day. Imagine waking up and instead of reaching for your phone or diving into your to-do list, you start with a blessing. Take the story of a father who began each morning with a simple yet powerful declaration. Today, I am blessed, I am forgiven, I walk with God. His words were more than just a routine. They were a profound affirmation of faith and positivity. Over time, his teenage daughter noticed the change in her father and decided to adopt the same practice. This small but significant shift transformed their mornings, filling their home with a sense of peace and purpose. You too can create your own daily declaration. Write it down, make it personal, and speak it aloud each morning. Let your first words be a blessing, not just for yourself but for those around you. This act of intentionality plants seeds of positivity and faith that can grow throughout your day. So before you speak anything else, speak blessings. Start your day with words that uplift and inspire, setting a foundation for a life filled with grace and gratitude. Before you step into the hustle and bustle of your day, imagine wrapping yourself in a spiritual armor. This isn't just for pastors or religious leaders, it's for anyone who faces the challenges of life. Consider the story of a nurse who begins each morning with a prayer from Ephesians June 10, 18. She recites, "Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes." For her, these words are more than a ritual. They are a shield, a helmet, a belt of truth, and a sword of the Spirit. This practice helps her carry the pain of others without losing her own peace. She faces each day with a sense of divine protection, knowing she's equipped to handle whatever comes her way. You too can adopt this powerful habit. Before your feet touch the floor, take a moment to pray for spiritual protection. Imagine each piece of armor as a layer of strength and resilience that prepares you for the battles you may face. This act of intentionality can transform your mornings, filling you with a sense of peace and readiness. So, put on your morning armor, equip yourself with faith, truth and the Spirit, and step into your day with confidence and grace. When you wake up with a racing mind, it's easy to let worries take over your day. But what if you could turn those fears into prayers? Imagine a student who struggles with anxiety. Each morning she writes down every worry that clouds her mind and prays over each one. She calls this her morning release. This simple act transforms her anxiety into a moment of connection with God. Philippians 4:6 reminds us, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God." This scripture is a lifeline, a reminder that God sees your list of worries, and He's not overwhelmed by them. So when you wake up worried, take a moment to write down your fears. Turn each one into a prayer. Let this be your morning release. Transform your anxiety into a moment of peace and connection with God. Remember, He is always there, ready to calm your racing mind. You don't have to wait for Sunday to feel the presence of God. Imagine starting your day with one song and one surrendered heart. Take the story of a mechanic who plays worship music in his garage before he starts work. His customers often say they feel peace as soon as they step in. This is the power of worship. It isn't about performance, it's about presence. When you invite worship into your morning, you're inviting God's presence into your day. You create a sacred space where peace can dwell, even in the busiest of moments. So, as you sip your morning coffee or prepare for the day ahead, let a song of worship fill your space. Surrender your heart to God with each note, each lyric. Allow His peace to flow into every corner of your life. Remember, worship changes the atmosphere. It turns ordinary mornings into divine encounters. Start today with worship and watch how it transforms your day. As you rise each morning, the world is quick to tell you who you're not, But what if you could start your day by declaring who God is? In doing so, you remember who you truly are. Take the story of a woman struggling with self-worth. Each morning, she stands before her mirror and says aloud, "You are my shepherd, my strength, my peace." These declarations are not just words, they are the anchors of her soul. By affirming God's identity, she reminds herself of her own worth and purpose. Think about it. When you begin your day by acknowledging God's greatness, you set a foundation of strength, peace, and guidance. You invite His attributes into your life, allowing them to shape your thoughts and actions. So before the day tells you who you're not, declare who God is. Let His truth define your reality, and watch how your self-perception transforms. Remember, who God is reminds you who you are. When you invite God to write the first sentence, the story of your day ends differently. Picture this. A man in recovery struggling with the weight of his past starts each day with a simple prayer: "God, just help me do today with you." This daily act of surrender has led him to 3 years of sobriety. It's a testament to the power of beginning your day with God. By giving God the beginning, you open yourself to His guidance, strength, and love. Each morning you have the chance to set a divine tone for your day, allowing His presence to steer your actions and decisions. Maybe the real miracle isn't found in the events of the day itself, but in who you become through them. As you let God into the start of your day, you invite transformation, peace, and growth, so give God the beginning and watch how He blesses the end. You may not control how every day unfolds, but you can choose who holds the pen. Give God the start and trust Him with the rest. If this message touched your heart, I invite you to like this video, subscribe to Grace Whisper, and share in the comments what Easter means to you. You are never alone, you are deeply loved, and your story is far from over. Grace and peace to you, always. See you in the next video.